Welcome to THIRUKKURAL English Couplet TV. We have been seeing Kurals. We have completed chapter 50 and now we are coming to chapter 51. We have been seeing all the Kurals being interpreted or explained maybe in accordance with what I have translated. The translation is called THIRUKKURAL English Couplets. I have been doing in Tamil also. Tamil interpretation also is given in Kuralin Kural Nigilchi. That you can see in the YouTube, and this is in English, that is in Tamil. And this translation is exactly translated as it is in Thirukkural. I mean, how the Kurals were written. The same Kurals are brought to English, and I have translated the Kurals in 4+3 word in 2 lines, using 2 sorts of grammar called Venba Kural and couplets definition. And I have used a semantical approach, bringing in the heart and spirit of Thiruvallur to translation. This way this has been translated. I have put every Kural, 1330 Kurals in 133 chapters in 3 sections, virtue, wealth and love, into 16 heads which are called aspects. Now we are in the 8th aspect, which is known as frame of life. We are up to 57 chapter, we are in the frame of life. Then we will come to the next one, 58th chapter starts with the grace, and it goes on with that. Now we start with the first chapter, that is chapter number 51, where we see the first Quran. Start with the first Quran. Virtue, wealth, pleasure of life, attitudes or tests. Virtue, wealth, pleasure, life, attitude or tests. These are the tests. How many things? 1, virtue, wealth 2, pleasure 3, life, attitudes or tests. These are the tests for what? The title's name is Test to Trust. Before trusting anybody, we have to test it. Once tested, it is to be believed, it is to be trusted. That's why he has given this title, Therindu Thalidal. This has been translated Test to Trust. It sounds, nice. So it has been translated that way. And moreover, couplet translation, using couplet definition for translation, the 2 lines, the end of the words in 2 lines have to sound the same, or syllabic meter of each line has to be the same. So I will use the syllabic meter of each line to be same. Okay. Both the lines syllabic meter are same. This way I have used. Now virtue, wealth, pleasure, life, attitudes are tests. These are the tests. Virtue. How many virtuous things he has done? How far he is virtuous? What are the virtues that we could speak of? So virtue, wealth, pleasure, how he look at pleasure, life. These are the 4 things. These are the attitudes. These are the angle from which he is looking at. So attitudes, wealth, pleasure, life for a life. Attitudes, these are the life attitudes or tests. These are to be tested. That's why he is telling Aramporul Inpam Uyiracham Nangin Thirunterindu Therapadum. So Aramporul Inpam Uyiracham Nangin, these are the 4 things. Nangin Thirunterindu Therapadum. So before trusting, we have to test all this. Having tested once, having known of the person, we have to believe him. So trust is a word which is one of the beliefs. system. One of the belief system. See, belief system, we are living in belief system. We have the belief system for our life. Whatever science we have, whatever improvement we have, irrespective of all this, we believe things. One of the belief system is called trust. Trust is believing someone or something, especially someone who is unknown. But the veracity and the integrity of the person is to be believed, to be true, without even knowing of. That's why people believe certain persons, God, all such. And when it goes to that extreme level, having once realized of God's being, God's presence in life through witnesses, as said in the Bible in Hebrews, having been once witnessed of His presence through life itself, not through history, not through the written things, not through even scriptures, through the life itself, having experienced the scriptures in the life itself, we would be having the faith in God. That is the extreme one. Before that, we have to we trust. We trust because we don't know about it. We trust, but we do one thing: we believe on the veracity and the integrity of the person whom we believe. That's trust. So, before doing it, or before believing or trusting Him, we have to test the veracity and the integrity of the person by testing the virtue, testing the wealth, how far he is after the pleasure. We have to test that, and we have to test about his life's attitudes, whether he is taking everything pessimistically or optimistically, or how far he is thinking of life, death he is afraid of, whether he is afraid of death or whether he is pleased to live. All such we have to test first to trust whether God or man, irrespective of the persons, artificial person or the real person, whatever it is, we have to test first to take the integrity and the veracity. Veracity, and that is very particular about this. Veracity and integrity are important. These veracity and the integrity are to be tested first. So we have to see the virtue, wealth and pleasure, life, attitudes are tests. These are the tests through which we will understand the person, and then we can have the veracity and the integrity to be true, and we can go ahead. Before having faith, we can have the trust. So that is the finite one, Quran number 501, first Quran. Second Quran, 502. Family, individuality, modesty, worth speak for selection. So we have to consider four more things for selection. If you want to select the person for a job, if you want to select a person for something that you want to entrust to him, you have to be considering these four things: family, individuality, modesty and worth. Family, what type of family is it? What type of individual he is? What type of modesty he has? How much worth he has? All such are to be chosen or selected for selection. These are the things that speak for selection. If you want to select a person, you have to be very considerate of all these four things. This previous one is reiterated in some other way and with some other words. Third one, even some scholars are ignorant to those scholarly. So now he is in 503 in the Quran. He says even some scholars are ignorant, those scholarly. We would have seen about the people being ignorant, those scholarly. They would have studied colleges, but they are still ignorant. So now even some scholars are ignorant to those scholarly. Ariyakattu. They would have learned, but still they are ignorant. That's very dangerous. So that is the reason he wants us to trust before trusting. So even some scholars are ignorant, though scholarly. They would have been possessing certificates as to his education, but still ignorant. So this is to be tested. Okay, fine at 4. Weigh good, bad qualities. Judge which prevails. If a person is brought before you, you were to judge whether this is a good person or a bad person. It is not in the court. He is not talking about the judge in the court. No. Judge means any person who is engaging a person for some work has to judge about that person before selecting him. What type of judgment he has to take is, he is brought before you. You weigh, you put his bad qualities in a weighing scale. Bad qualities one plate and his good qualities in one plate. Because man is a man, no? He's a man. Men are with good and bad qualities. So you weigh both. But after weighing, you see which prevails. Judge accordingly. That is what he says. So whether bad qualities weigh more or good qualities weigh more. If bad qualities weigh more, he is not a good person. If good qualities weigh more, he is a good person. Judge like this. Weigh good, bad qualities. Judge which prevails. Weigh good, bad qualities. Judge which prevails. Final 5. Deeds are touchstone revealing greatness or meanness. Next one is telling touchstone method. You would have heard about this touchstone method. Shakespeare was using this word. He used to use this word, touchstone method. That means touchstone method, these deeds are touchstone. What touchstone? This is the way to find out whether a person is great or mean. The greatness and meanness of a person can be touched through the deeds that he does. Deeds are touchstone revealing greatness or meanness. So the person cannot be said to be great if his deeds are very mean. The person cannot be said to be mean if his deeds are very great. So we consider persons through how he is known in the society. Is according to his caste, society, his status, all such. But he says, you through deeds you judge. What deed? What fruit? Already he has been talking about, in most of the Qurans, he has been talking about the fruits of a person. Through the fruits, through the deeds that he come out with, judge him. And then you will know about his greatness or meanness. 6th one, avoid persons disregarding virtues, shame and blame. Avoid persons. Now he is advising, these all Qurans are mostly advice or instructions or some hints for HR professional. HR personnel. Professionals who are personnels in the HR department, human resource development department, or human dealing with human resources. These personnel have to be very concerned with all this. He is telling, avoid persons. If persons come to you disregarding virtues, if they don't consider virtues at all, and shame and blame, he is not bothered about shame or blame. You don't take that person for any job. Don't take him for job to entrust anything to him. Avoid such persons. If you are a professional, if you are a professional being HR personnel, avoid such persons. In your profession, you have to know about it. profession, you have to know about it. Avoid persons disregarding virtues, shame or blame. Shame or blame. Seventh one. Partially in selective foolish one is folly. Partiality in selective foolish one is folly. If somebody comes and somebody is recommending him for selection, if you are selecting that person, that means the selection is called folly, and you yourself may be considered foolish. Partiality. If you show any partiality, selecting foolish one is folly. So selecting foolish one is folly. So you become folly if you select a foolish one, showing some partiality. That is what is this. Final 8. Trusting untrusted character gives everyone endless troubles. So if you start trusting a person who is to be untrusted, who is having an untrusted character, that gives you endless trouble to everyone there. Everyone, whether great or low. All the people in the company. If you are in an office, to everybody in the office, you will be trouble. You will be troublesome person you will be. Trusting untrusted character gives everyone endless troubles. 9th one. Select through test, then trust to entrust. You select people through test. Though, what is the test? First cruel is the test. Virtue, wealth, pleasure, life, attitudes are test. You test the attitude. That is what they say more in companies, even in the government, they have the attitude and aptitude tests. So now is trust with the test, or select through test, then trust to entrust. Then you give the job to him. He will be doing it. After selecting him through test, you entrust the job to him. He will be eligible person to do it. Now, importantly, he says in the last Quran, select analytically, avoid doubts, that avoids harm. Select a person analytically. You select him after analyzing him. Avoid doubts. After that, avoid doubts. That avoids harm. Select analytically. After selecting, avoid all doubts. If you have still doubt, that will harm. That harm is to be avoided. For that, select with this test. After selection, you have to Theran Telivum, Telindan Kan Ayuravum, Thira Idumbaitarum. Theran Telivum, Telindan Kan Ayuravum, Theran Telivum. First you will do the test also. Telindan Kan Ayuravum. After selection, if you doubt, Thira Idumbaitarum, that is a harm. Harm to the person, harm to you too. So we have to be very careful testing to trust a person. That is what he says in this chapter. That we think ends. Thank you.